Well, good evening and welcome to our special fall event where we do a virtual banquet where we get to tell you a little bit about the exciting work that's happening here at Shepherd Community and the great job that our staff team here and volunteers are doing each and every day. I had the privilege, I was out at Marian University yesterday talking to the leader of their uh, program around education, and who's also a state rep, Bob Benning, and he looked at our test scores and said, doing a great job. High compliment from someone who knows education inside and out. And so it is always worth the impact that we make into the lives of kids when we give them a solid basis of education. As we have said, we are here to educate a neighborhood. We're blessed to have several kids in our school and be led by Bethany, our head of school, and with programs. Let's watch this video that will give you one glimpse into the life of the educational process at Shepherd Community.
So my name is Leslie Castellanos. I'm a freshman here at Taylor University, and my major is communications.
My name is Renee Pizzullo, and I'm the director of E2E, which is Education to Employment. So my position, obviously, is the director of E2E, and E2E houses our middle school and high school, after school, and summer programs, as well as our college and career programs and our mentoring program. I think growing up as a teenager, I didn't have many connections, and seeing the connections that we can give to our students on a daily basis for however long they're in program, that's something that I wish I would have had. And I don't know if I would be in a different place in life or doing something different with my life if I were to have all of those connections, but it's something that I really wanted, and I think I missed growing up myself, that I want to make sure every student that we come in contact, make sure that they have those connections and can relate to either myself or any of my staff, because it's not about me. Obviously it's about God, but making sure that you guys have those connections and feel cared for and loved.
So I actually grew up around Shepherd. I live around Shepherd, so like 5 minutes from there. So I heard about it from attending like their preschool program. I was there for like half of my kindergarten year, and then I moved to my high school, and I was also involved in their after school programs for some years. I spent majority of my time doing the summer programs, so I did that since whatever year they started, first grade until senior years. Amy Wallace. She was my mentor for a lot of my life, and just the relationship that I got to like build with her and the bond that we had, she just like was able to take me to places that maybe my family wouldn't be able to, but I think she made a really big impact on my life. During these last 2 years, I'm really thankful for Shepherd because I feel like I really needed them. And even back then, like Shepherd has always just been a really great place for families around the community, because like ranging from like the Christmas shopping, I thought that was always so cute and so cool that they did that for families. The giving of the boxes to families as well. Like those people, like families around the community need that. And I, especially now during like these last 2 years, like junior year and senior year, I definitely needed them a lot because they gave me a lot of resources for like scholarships for Taylor, or just scholarships in general, seeking financial aid and things like that, and just like networking. So my sister is Julissa Castellanos. If you know her, she's pretty cool. She is pretty cool. Starting off, she's just always been a great role model to me. She has been everything from like my mom to my teacher, sister, a friend, a peer review buddy. She would look at my papers and be like, that's wrong, and I'd be like, okay, thank you for checking that. So just the influence that she gave me has been one of like the greatest impacts in my life. I mean, given she came here, and that was also a really big influence for me coming here, seeing the community that she was surrounded around. I think that's what kind of led me to coming here as well, hearing all her great experiences. So.
So let me back up for just a quick second, because Jalissa was the first one I was introduced to, your sister. And Jalissa's very quiet and very chill and very calm. And I'm like, oh, her sister's coming to program. Okay, she's going to be just like Jalissa. And then I meet Leslie, and it's like, bam, here I am, firecracker. Yeah. But just your personality and how you love people really stood out to me. Even as a young kid, you could see it. And just knowing that God had something special for you. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, and I think God is still showing you what that is. But just seeing your personality the first time I met you, that first impression, I was like, this girl, okay, she's not Jalissa. All right. So just seeing how much love you had for people and just how you cared for people, even at a young age, made a huge impact on my first impression of you.
I think one of the exciting parts that we hear in that story, in that video storytelling of how Shepherd is writing so much impact into the lives. It happens year round. Becca, talk to us just quickly about what are the educational programs. It's not just the school, and the school do an amazing job, but we're impacting in other ways.
Yeah, we have a lot of dedicated program staff that work, like Jay said, year round with our academy, which you mentioned, which is our school program. And we have dedicated teachers who work to provide a quality education experience for students who enrolled in our school. You saw E2E get highlighted and saw and heard from Renee a rundown of what they do. But the cool thing about that team specifically is that we have staff who are embedded and spend the majority of their working hours in our middle and high schools in our community. And so they're providing programming within the schools. And we do have an offsite location as well that's pulls from some other schools. And so we're able to serve a wide variety of students, but also tailor some of those programs to the life and needs of each school as well, which has just been a really cool opportunity to see come to life this school year. And then we also have elementary programming as well, which we pull from our own school for some of that after school programming. And then we have two great IPS partners as well that a majority of our students come from as well. And some other schools that are represented in our after school program too. And that staff works hard to provide tutoring and enrichment clubs, as well as just connecting and building relationships with the students and the families. And then over the summer, our first through 12th graders are able to come for an entire day, 7 weeks of summer camp, where they're getting the academic support as well, but also those fun things that make summer camp not school. So the team works hard to build relationships with the students, with the families, and really just provide those wraparound services as well that Shepherd can as the family needs arise throughout those programs.
Well, thank you, Becca. And this year, new to this school year, was our before school program, which kids are so excited to be there starting at 6 a.m. And they come either for our school or for IPS 82, IPS 58, and then IPS picks them up and takes them to school, averaging about 30 kids a day, but it's
Yeah.
yeah, up and down depending on the day. Critical for those parents who have to get to work early, and a real privilege for us to be able to give them a safe place to go, a fun place to go, and do some exciting things. One of the other things, we know this, is in the last 2 years, food prices have gone up 26%. Inflation is up and down, but the food prices have stayed up. And we all know we go to the grocery store and it's difficult for us. Well, we are trying to, in a variety of ways, meet the needs of our neighbors in the very basic of need of food. Today, this afternoon, we were delivering or having families drive through and distributing boxes of food. And let's see a story about how hunger is being addressed through relationships at Shepherd Community.
I have a heartwarming moment every Wednesday because every Wednesday I get the opportunity to see some people I've come to know since I deliver groceries on Wednesday, which I pick up here at Shepherd's and then deliver to anywhere from 7 to 9 people every Wednesday. Each of those people is in varying stages of their life in relationship to their age, their marital life, sometimes their medical conditions. They have some degree of suffering that all of us experience from time to time, perhaps for them greater than what most of us have to suffer through. And the heartwarming moments are when I'm thanked by them for bringing the groceries that Shepherd's has provided. And that happens every time. And the heartwarmingness, if that's a word, is that you see people who may have every reason in the world not to be grateful and thoughtful of others, and they are, in fact, to me. So I drive a white pickup to deliver the goods, to deliver the groceries and the other items that we deliver. And my white pickup has become known to those as they look out the window. But more importantly, and what's really heartwarming, is my first name has been known to them. So every Wednesday, I have that experience, frequently coupled with the idea that someone calls me by my name and is thankful and thoughtful. The real delivery is that by coming Wednesday and bringing things they need, we shepherds, in my judgment, in my experiences, have given them something which is important to everyone. We've made a contact. We've said by coming every Wednesday that they are important and that we recognize that. And we're really honored to have the opportunity to make that contact and to exhibit that. So at one point, my deliveries included a grandmother who took care of 2 grandchildren who were beautiful. And she reached a point where she was having severe difficulty with the children's mother, her daughter. And we delivered one day, and she was in tears that only perhaps a mother could cry, and only perhaps as a result of a deep disagreement with her flesh and blood, her daughter. And she reached out to me after I put the groceries down in her front room and asked for a hug. So she gave me a hug for just being there, but I think really for being shepherds, that someone was thinking about her and appreciating her presence. Time, whatever time is, seems to us, at least on this planet, to be finite. But I think that within the concept of time is the concept of opportunity or obstacle. And I think sometimes we see experiences in life or events in life, and the key question is, do we see it as an obstacle to what we really want, or an opportunity to do things that might be what we should be seeking? And coming to volunteer at Shepherd's does not impose an obstacle to my meaningful life, hopefully meaningful life, but an opportunity to expand upon what makes it meaningful and in my relationship. So I would, and this is a wonderful place, and the people that operate this place have their hearts in the right place and their minds, and it's a wonderful place to volunteer. And I can guarantee you there are things for you to do if you want to volunteer here, and you will be pleased of a decision to do that because it's rewarding, but it's carrying forward what our faith says we should be doing.
Well, we appreciate volunteers like John Nell who make this happen. Each and every day, volunteers engaging in a variety of services, and here the difference you hear in his story, it's about the relationship. It's not about the box of food, though that opens the door and meets a need. It gives us the ability to connect with that great, great challenge of loneliness, the epidemic of isolation that is ravaging our city. Well, I am really excited about our next video because we're announcing something huge for our families in partnership with Arbor Homes. Let's watch this video about how we're helping to creatively address the need for housing.
So I'm here today with Curtis Rector, who is founder and president of Arbor Homes. And he is joining us so we can dialogue a little bit about an initiative that we're taking together on the Near East Side. Curtis, before we begin talking about that initiative, would you take a moment and just share a little bit about Arbor Homes, where it started, where you've been developing, and what the business looks like for those who aren't familiar with the company?
Sure, love to. First of all, thanks for having me here. It's great to be in partnership with Shepherd. Yeah, I founded Arbor Homes in 1994 with a focus on first-time home buyers, understanding that owning a home is part of the American dream. It builds equity. It helps in stabilizing families. And that has been our effort for the last 30 years. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary. We build all around the Indianapolis community, within Indianapolis and all the donut counties. We also have divisions in Louisville, Kentucky, Cincy, Dayton, Ohio, and Columbus, Ohio as well.
Cool. I know in your position and from your vantage point, you understand a lot about housing. Could you explain to us a little bit about what's happening and why there is a housing crisis?
Yeah, and it is acute, not only in Indianapolis, but across the country as well. We pay so many of the bills on property tax these days, and most municipalities look at the income they get from property tax and they go, hey, I can get more if we build more expensive housing. So they have regulations that they are putting in place to drive up the cost of housing. And then they want to put architectural standards on the house. So you have to add brick, maybe hardy plank siding, different gables or roof pitches, everything that is just to drive up the cost of the house and make it less affordable.
I believe that Arbor is trying to work against that system with the new Genesis series of homes.
That is correct. We started really a couple of years ago as we saw the problems we had in the community, the crisis we have in affordable housing. We stepped back and said, okay, what can we do to help drive down the cost to build a house? Still make it look good, but drive down the cost and make it more affordable. So we developed a new product line. It's called the Genesis line. We hope to build it in a different way, in a more production style, to lower the cost. It does have smaller square footage, and it can go on a smaller lot. So all of those things combined, trying to drive down the total cost of the home.
Can you tell us what the background was, where that meeting came from that we had a few months ago, and what has developed since that?
Yeah. My pastor, Rob Fuquay of St. Luke's United Methodist Church, who I've done a lot of work with over the years. We've done some habitat houses, and I know very well, and he knows my passion for affordable housing and how critical I think it is for our community. He called me one day and said, hey, I think you ought to come to breakfast with Jay Height and yourself. And so the four of us got together and we just talked about housing and the problem that we have, and you had access to a few lots, and it just came to be a good partnership. So we are now working on multiple lots to bring multiple houses that we can build together.
I know that there are a lot of other nonprofits you could be doing this with. Why Shepherd?
Well, one, I wasn't that familiar with Shepherd, quite frankly, but once I met with you all and Rob had explained what you guys were trying to do, and I looked at what you're doing, it was like, wow, this is pretty cool to invest in the Near East Side. And so I was impressed with you all's mission. and it certainly married up with what my passion is, affordable housing. And so that was a pretty darn good match right there. But then maybe the most critical things was you guys asked. So we have had partnerships with other not-for-profits, and we've seen others out there, but it's usually when somebody comes and asks and says, hey, can we work on this together, that it comes together.
Well, it's very easy to see from our standpoint what we gain in the relationship. What it helps us be able to do is to realize certain dreams and hopes that we have for neighbors. But what does Arbor gain in this relationship?
Anytime we make a community better, we're gaining from that. We're invested in Indianapolis. I live in Indianapolis. I've raised my family here, and I want a great community. And so, anytime we can give back, we are blessed by that. I personally have been blessed beyond anything I could ever imagine, and I believe that God wants me to give back. And this is an opportunity for me and this company to give back.
Well, we appreciate that very much, and we're grateful to be on the receiving end of it, or at least to be the conduit through which it passes to be a blessing to others. And that's certainly our heart's desire too. So Curtis, what are the specifics of this plan that we've come up with together?
Yeah, well, so for the first 5, the first one is actually a duplex, so 2 units attached together. We're pretty close on those variances. Again, once those come through, we hope we've got about 6-8 weeks before we can then get a permit and start digging the foundation, so hopefully by the end of the year. And then we have 3 scattered lots that we hope to start next year, hopefully in the spring. And we'd probably spread those out, maybe try and start one in March, one in May, one in July, something like that.
So in the next several months, we could be able to see 5 units available.
I would hope by the end of 25, we've completed 5 units. That would be the goal for the first year, and then 6 in 26.
So we're just really thankful that you're part of it, Curtis, and Arbor Homes. And we are really looking forward to what God is going to do in and through you and through each of us as we put our hands to the task.
Well, thanks. As I said, we're blessed to be able to be part of it. You guys are doing God's work on the ground, and we're just blessed and lucky to be part of that.
We are excited about those homes. Families will begin to move into those homes, renting them from us as we work with them to improve their credit scores, improve their income through their job skills, and then learning how to take care of the home. And then the goal is within 3 to 5 years for them to be able to purchase the home from us. And they're going to purchase the home for $125,000, a home that will be worth about $300,000. And so, what a gift, providing them with immediate equity. But our goal is to prepare the family for success. We know that no building changes a life, but it can sure help stabilize them. So we're excited and appreciate everyone at Arbor Homes for making this a reality as we move families into home ownership. But that's not all we're doing. And in 25, we have something else. Colton, talk to us a little bit about the Warwick townhouses.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Shepherd has acquired lots. They're at 3838 Washington Street, just a quarter mile away from us there at Shepherd. And we have an affordable rental development project that's designed to cater to households with incomes at or below that 60% of area median income. And so what we're going to do there is we're going to build 11 affordable housing units along with a 3,000 square foot community space there to hold events and various different services and programs, and that really make it a hub spot for the community and to help build a micro community right there at 3838 East Washington.
Well, we're excited to be addressing the needs of our neighbors, whether it's rental and having good rental places, moving towards home ownership. Our next video tells you a tough story. And when we come out of that, we're going to get to hear from Phil Edwards. When we think of the health challenges, Shepherd is addressing that in many ways, but health and mental health go hand in hand, and you'll see why.
I was at work on the west side that day, and I got a call saying that they just verified who I was and where I lived, and they said that Isaiah had had an accident and they needed me to come home. And I said, can you just tell me if he's okay? And they said that they would discuss it when I got there.
We responded on a person shot, and we get there, we were the first on the scene, and there was nothing in the notes other than it was an unsecure scene and that someone had been shot. As we're walking up to the house, it became very, very apparent very quickly that this was a child.
The whole time I'm driving, I'm calling, trying to find out what's going on, and then finally I did reach Dee Dee, and he told me that Isaiah had been shot.
And so he's laying right inside the front door, and I go to work, and I roll, and it's this 13-year-old boy, and he's got a gunshot wound right through his sternum.
I came up to the house, and there was yellow tape, and I lost it some more, and then they let me know that Isaiah was not there. He had been gone to the hospital.
The brother was there, and he's going completely bonkers, rightfully so. But for me to work on him, and his brother's trying to get to him, so Adam kind of has to go hands-on with the brother. So they're kind of tussling above me as I'm starting to work on this child. And there's very few times, I've been at it a long time, but there's very few times in your career where you look at a child and you say, I'm going to watch this little boy take his last breath.
I found out later that the young man had brought the gun to my home. I had explained to him that I did not want him in my house, did not want him around, but he came anyway. My son thought that they would just get dressed and be gone, but he went into Isaiah's room and was playing with the gun while Isaiah was playing his video game. When he put the magazine in, his finger was in the chamber and it shot Isaiah in the chest.
This kid, 16-year-old, brought a gun into my house, and he was playing with the gun went off and it shot me in my chest.
Isaiah went into shock, and his bedroom's on the second floor.
And I got up and I started to walk down the stairs. And then last thing I remember, before they helped me, I fell into the door, and then my brother and my friend caught me, and they were both crying.
The ambulance gets there. I was able to give him one of our expanded protocol medications that fortunately I get to carry that kind of helps with platelets and clotting. And so we were able to give him that medication. And what we don't see in public safety or in emergency medicine is a traumatic injury where they're unresponsive and there's nothing that you're doing that's correcting that, and then to be able to fix them to the point that they're able to talk to you. And that's exactly what we did with this kid. We oxygenated him, we were breathing for him. We did some corrective action where we stuck needles in his chest to deflate any air that was trapped in his chest cavity. And he was able to tell us what his favorite video game was by the time we got him to the hospital.
They took good care of him in the hospital. So he was in there for 19 days, from the 9th to the 23rd.
And so he survived a surgery. He lacerated it. It messed up some of his pulmonary arteries and some of his pulmonary veins, but he's now at home.
Without the two of them helping him, he wouldn't be here today.
Mom just went back to work this week because she took the rest of the summer off to be with her son. And Shepherd was able to step in and help with some mortgage assistance, which took a huge weight off of Mom. And now he is now enrolled in after-school programs through Shepherd.
Shane and Adam have been wonderful, checking in on him, giving him encouragement, taking him fishing. He wanted to do that. He's been asking for months. He loved. He got 4 or 6 fish that day. There should be a Shepherd Community Center mentality or one of these in every community. The support that Shepherd has given us since then and continues is priceless.
Well, in 2 weeks, we are going to be hosting a special event for the mental health challenges of students at Arsenal Tech High School. But each and every day, some exciting things are happening. Phil, talk to us about the mental health challenges of our students and how Shepherd is addressing that.
Thanks, Jay. I am Phil Edwards and Chief Engagement Officer, and we get the privilege to serve on the tech campus, and we have great spaces for students to come to, safe spaces for them to share their challenges, and also just life struggles. And so, in less than 2 weeks, we are about to have an unbelievable event at the Colts complex in which we will bus over about 100 students from Tech, in which it will be an unbelievable mental health.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
hey, Phil, we
Yeah.
had it at the Colts event, Colts complex. Wrong sport. We're going to be at the
Oh,
Pacers.
I didn't say Pacers.
No,
I'm
we
sorry.
already had it at the Colts in the spring.
We did have it at the Colts complex last year, and this year we will go over to the Pacers complex. And thank you, Jay. And got the wrong team. So all that to say, we're looking forward to bringing 100 students from Tech over to the Pacers complex, in which they're going to have an unbelievable experience. And we're going to be very intentional in talking about the importance of good mental health. We have a number of speakers to come in and talk about the stigma about around mental health. We want to help reduce the stigma. We want to create a space for kids to embrace how they feel and to share some of the challenges they experience. And so it's going to be an unbelievable experience for those young folk in less than a week we can have.
Tell us a little bit about the class you teach.
Yes. You know, I really get excited each day. I never know what to expect when these young folks, they're teenagers, they're coming into our class and our advisory. And so often we start by just asking how they're doing. And in most cases, they go directly to the hurt. And so our kids are carrying so much pain and just the weight on their shoulders, all the life that they experience. They're young lives, but yet they have so many challenges that they are wrestling with on a daily basis, great deal of dysfunction. And so we, again, create that safe space for them. We have comfortable chairs, rugs, we have good lighting, and so we get a chance to go deeper with the students, and they feel more and more comfortable about what they're dealing with. Now, some of the things they say and what we do say to them, what happens or what they say in that room stays in that space unless they're going to hurt someone or hurt themselves. We have to report that. But other than that, these young folks share a lot of what they're wrestling with. And it's amazing to me that they are not activated on a regular basis because of all that they're carrying. And someone can look at them the wrong way and they can just get activated because they don't know how to process their emotions. But we give them a space to talk about that. We give them tools to help them process their feelings and to make better decisions before reacting out of their hurt, their pain, their shame. And so, Jay, it's an unbelievable experience, and we're making a difference in the lives of our young people because we're creating that space for them to talk about what they're seeing and experiencing and what they've experienced as younger kids.
Well, I just wish you were a little passionate about your work. You know, why don't you introduce our next video, because it's about a young man who's working at Chick-fil-A from Arsenal Tech High School. Why don't you tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that, and then we'll see the video.
Absolutely. So Marshawn was a freshman when I met him a few years ago, and at Tech High School in the cafeteria, just hanging out with them, and he just had something about him that he just seemed to be very intentional and very, I use the term hungry. And so we offered Marshawn an opportunity to work at Shepherd during our summer program in which he worked in the kitchen. And even then, Marshawn talked a lot about the future. He talked about investing his money in a Roth IRA. And I was like, what do you know about savings and an investment and retirement? He said, I've done a little research and I really want to make money. I want to set my family up. And so after working with him for the summer and just seeing just how determined he was, I said, you have potential and you seem to be really determined to do really well with your life. And so we connected him to one of our partners, Chick-fil-A. And I called my friend and said, hey, I have a kid, a young man I think you would definitely want to hire. He has all of the good traits that you're looking for in a quality employee. And so make that connection. And Marshawn is killing it. I mean, he was a crew member. Now he's a trainer of trainers. So I'm really excited about this video.
My name is Marshawn Hendricks, and I work at Chick-fil-A. What type of cheese? Can I get a spicy regular with pepper jack cheese? I've been working here for a year and 2 months. I go to Arsenal Tech. It's very big. I would say it's like a friendly environment, but it's also chaotic too.
Is that a large fry or a medium? Yeah. Okay. My name is Ricky Wallace Jr. and I've been with Chick-fil-A for about 4 years. My first impression of Marshawn when I interviewed him, he carried himself to a high standard, and then he got here and he is very determined.
I met Phil. He was really cool. It was just an opportunity that just arose out of nowhere.
Phil's a great guy, and when he comes in here, he always has a smile on his face.
I just started working at the community center for about a month and a half. And then Phil, he was like, I really like your work ethic. And then he referred me here. And I've been doing good ever since.
You get all walks of life here. This one is very, very different just because of the demographic. Sometimes you don't know if you are going to meet with someone pleasant or you're gonna have somebody kind of flying off the handle. One of our things of winning hearts is we want to provide a safe environment for our team. So we really, really focus on that here.
Here you go, sir. My pleasure. You too. I would have never thought I would have worked at Chick-fil-A. I didn't have any experience with the job at all, so I didn't know what that entailed. You had to apply and then wait, and then it's not a guaranteed thing. And it was a really cool experience. Training is tough though. Training is really tough.
That's kind of what drew us to making him a trainer, because he has that willingness to work hard. And our job as leaders is to continue to coach our people. A lot of our kids that we come in don't come in with the work ethic that he has. So I feel like a lot of that could have been learned at Shepherd.
I'm a front of the house trainer. Once I got the promotion, I got recognized for my hard work. I was grateful, all these opportunities don't really just fall out the sky. And for me, it really was just a real point of interest for me to just learn and grow. And it teaches you how to be a genuine, kind person.
Thank you, sir. Seeing his growth from the team member that he was all the way up to who he is now, to being a trainer, and him even wanting to further himself more to become a team leader in the future it's awesome to see.
Here we're trying to be the most caring restaurant in downtown Indy, so we're trying to just make sure they have that same mentality too when they come.
Well, we appreciate our partnership with Chick-fil-A and the operator there. Marshawn worked for a summer for us in our kitchen, and it was from there that he was able to move forward with his career. And I think he graduates this next spring, and we're proud of him. And there's a lot of those stories. A key part of that is the partnerships. Andrew, you want to talk a little bit about partnerships and how that works for us, and then introduce the next video.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jay. Good evening, everyone. It's the executive director here at Shepherd. And as Jay mentioned, we've been talking about relationships all along, but partnerships is a part of that relationship aspect for us as well. And building partnerships with folks like our friends at Chick-fil-A. I'm also thinking about a key partnership with IPS where we invite apprentices specifically at our Minnie Hartman neighborhood childcare. So these students who are in an early childhood program can apprentice. And then since then, we've hired 2 of them onto our staff at Minnie Hartman. So another great partnership with IPS. And those are just a couple of many, many partners, and where we value the relationship that we have with them, and they join with us in our mission and accomplishing their mission as well. And we want to share one more video with you that really highlights that relational aspect, and you're going to get to hear from a team member of ours and a neighbor talk about their special relationship and how it played into employment and just building that relationship over time.
So, how did you hear about Shepherd?
Well, when I was at the Salvation Army shelter, I was really, really, really depressed. And this girl that I knew was coming here. I said, "You was going where?" I said, "I'm trying to dip into your business, but you're going where?" She said, "Oh, I'm going to Shepherd Community." I said, "Girl, what they do there?" And she was like, "They help you with housing and jobs." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Cause girl, I need a job." So I came over here with her, and that's how I met you that day.
Okay.
And I was just so grateful. You said, "Well, I see both of y'all." I was like, "Yay, okay."
Because you didn't have an appointment.
I didn't. I just came with the girl because I was really needing some help.
Okay. How did I help your situation with the job?
Well, you helped me with my situation with the job because a lot of the stuff that was on the job, like those, your background and all that, and you really helped me through that. I really appreciate that. Because I was getting frustrated and I was like, I ain't finna go back over there. She was like, "No, Miss Ida helped you." I was like, "You sure?" I was like, she seemed like she'd be really busy.
Yeah.
And you saw me and I went into your office and you helped me.
And do you remember how often you came here to?
I would say every other day, wasn't it? It was every other day. And I was like, I know this lady. I asked her friend, I said, "Tell her, is she getting tired of seeing me?" I said, "'Cause I'm steady having problems with these applications." And you narrowed it down.
So, is there anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, how long you been working through Shepherd?
A year. It's just a little bit over a year.
Oh, you good.
Well, I'm trying.
I'm saying your position is good for you to help people that need help like I did. You really helped me, Miss Ida. Because, I wanted to apologize again because I did get frustrated. And I didn't mean to take it out on you. It's just that I was just wanted to just hurry up and just get what I needed so I could just get out of the shelter and get my own place. And it all came. And then I started just praying a lot. I was going back to church. I was like, I'm just going to go back to church. I said, because only God can get me out this situation.
Right, yeah.
And that's what happened.
And
He got me out of it. I was in the dark. I was living in the dark. It wasn't no lights. It wasn't no water. It wasn't no food. It wasn't none of that. And then I kept saying, I'm just going to pray hard every night, every night, every night. And then so I started feeling the lifts off my shoulders. And then I come in, I'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to go see Miss Ida." I said, "Okay, you got anything?" She was like, "Yeah, I got such and such." I was like, "Okay." So you had a lot of job leads, and I really appreciated that too.
And that computer frustrated you.
Girl.
But you were determined. You came, like you said, every other day. Even though you got frustrated, you still was determined that you were going to get something and you was going to be here to make sure that you found something. And now that you found something, how long have you? I
love it.
And what are you doing?
I'm working at Sam's Club. I'm a cook at Sam's Club. So I went on and found the Sam's Club, and you helped me do my application through the Sam's Club, and I've been there ever since. I've been there 3 months.
Okay, good.
Doing great. They love me.
Now you have a job at Sam's Club. You've been there 3 months. What else has happened?
Well, I had found my own. I got my own place now. I forgot all about that. But I got my own place now. And okay, at first I was paying $50 a month. But now the people at this place that I live in with, so she said by me having a job, now my rent is only like $249. I can afford that too.
Okay.
Phone bill is okay. Then my storage went from $200 and some to only $31. That's a blessing from God.
Yes,
that's a blessing.
It is.
And it's good. What was your first impression of me?
Your first, that you were bossy, and
I was. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I was stressing, girl.
But not just bossy, but a determined person, because and I realized that because of your situation and being in the shelter.
Yeah.
And I said bossy jokingly, but I know that you were a determined person because of where your situation was and that you were wanting to get out.
Yeah.
And so whenever you would call and say, "Can I come and see you? Can I come and see you?" That didn't bother me. I knew that you were serious about wanting to get in the program, wanting to work the program, and that you wanted to do something with your life.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what I seen when I first met you.
Okay, what has changed? What have you seen change in me since I've been working?
smiling on your face.
Yes.
I love the smile, and you're so happy.
Oh, I do. Oh,
Because I see you quite often since you have your
Yeah.
place now, and
Yes.
even though I've seen you a lot here, we still I still come over to your place. I know where you live. If you need anything, I'm right there for you and things
And I
like that.
appreciate
So
you. I do.
look at that smile. It's so
Yeah.
it's contagious.
Ooh.
So yeah. So
Okay. Well, so what you love best about your job?
working with the people, being able to help navigate them through situations they can't get through, and trying to be a positive light to them, to let them know it may seem dark right now.
Yeah.
But it may seem dark right now, but it's going to get better. It's not always going to be this way. And trying to get people to see that and understand that sometimes it's hard for them to see that, because sometimes when they're around certain people, all they hear is negative all the time,
Yeah,
negative,
yeah.
negative, and see negative, because that's all they constantly hear. But when they come here, we try to give them the positive and give them the word and try to encourage them and give them something that they can hold on to, so when they leave here, that they will have some type of encouragement.
Yeah. Has God showed up in the workplace here at the Shepherd Community Center?
Has God showed up in the workplace? All the time.
Yeah.
It's even in our own little work area when we're back there praying for people. God shows
that's
up.
really
Y'all
sweet.
don't
Yes,
know
he
that.
does.
Y'all don't know that we pray for y'all back there, but we do.
Oh,
We intercede
that's
for
so
y'all. We pray for our
nice.
neighbors and things, and we ask God to give us directions on how to help y'all,
Yeah.
because we don't know everything. We don't have all the answers. And we need the Lord to give us things, and some things that we can't find in a book or anything like that for you
Right.
guys, and we have to ask God to lead us and direct us on how and what is best for you, for
Yeah,
y'all.
because he knows all of our hearts. He just is by
Yeah.
our hearts.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to ask me?
Oh, no, I just appreciate you. You like my big sister. Seriously.
Well, I appreciate
and I
you
really
too.
love you.
And I'm glad I got a chance to meet you, and
Yeah,
whoever
I'm glad
brought
you gave me a chance. Because I did come in on a girl thing when y'all was together. And it benefited both of us, though. It was
Right,
all
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It was good. Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
Well, a lot of energy in that interview. We're excited, but I hope that tonight what you have seen is a commitment to community lived out through relationships. Uh, as you've heard from some of our team here, and this is a story that continues to be written. And we are on our 39th anniversary this year that Shepherd was founded, but actually this Thanksgiving will be the 40th anniversary of the first outreach before Shepherd was founded. And we're going to be celebrating next year with all kinds of stories of like those you've heard tonight. If you want to be involved, we encourage you to reach out, and if you would like to volunteer, Donna Alexander is who you would reach out to if you'd like to donate. Colton Williford. If you want to get involved in programs, Andrew can help you, Becca can help you. If you want to invest in kids' lives in our schools there at Arsenal Tech, Phil can help you. I've said this many times, every kid is going to be mentored. The question's by who. I want to encourage you to somehow get involved. We're thankful for those who make it possible, for our sponsors tonight, that Bose McKinney at Properties and Servant HR, who made it possible for us to provide this for you. The team that does the work each and every day is critical to who Shepherd is. You just get to see a few of us here tonight, but there's over 127 of us working each and every day, plus so many volunteers. We appreciate our board who helps give us guidance and leadership. And we appreciate you taking time to watch this, to hear this, and to hear the stories. This is the result of investment that people have made. This is the dividends that will last for eternity. And so we appreciate this. We pray a blessing for you for this holiday season. And we look forward to maybe seeing you come and volunteer sometime during the craziness that is holidays at Shepherd. We hope you have a great evening. Good night.